Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So let's get this started here.
Elon Musk tweeted that they don't actually have the money. Is that true?
I don't know if they do, but they're putting up the money. The government's not putting up anything. They're putting up money. They're very rich people, so I hope they.
Boy, so many
He
people,
isn't like one of those people. So
are hating on Elon
It's
Musk.
going to replace many American jobs.
no,
Does that worry you?
no, it's going to create tremendous numbers of jobs. It's going to also
Which I don't understand.
medically for cancer research and other things. It's going to have a.
Elon's got Asperger's, and
We want to be ahead of China. We're right now way ahead of China.
people need to
one of the all-time experts. That
take that
are
into
amazing.
account
You just
for
met
what
him. I don't
anything
know.
that he does.
There he is. But one of the most respected people in that world. It's a world. It's a whole different world. And we're ahead of China now because of what I'm doing. And I think it's going to be very successful.
Mr. President, please you just ask the Davos Forum again that NATO countries should spend 5% of GDP on defense.
So I am back. Hopefully I'm back. Yeah, look at that. I'm back. That
Their life back. So I can imagine they probably would like to.
Mr. President, what did you mean when you said that Biden took bad advice and not pardoning himself yesterday?
Well, he did. I think he did because he pardoned all these people that are crooked as hell. Look, the congressmen, they're crooked. What they did is they.
all the president said a
destroyed
curse
evidence.
word.
When you destroy
He
evidence,
said
especially
hail.
criminally like that. They did it criminally.
That's going to be all over the
And the
internet.
reason they destroyed the evidence is because it proved that I was right. They didn't destroy evidence for no reason. They destroyed it because they found many documents saying that I offered 10,000 soldiers. If they had 500 soldiers or National Guard, there would have been no problem. If they had 200, that would have been. I offered 10,000 if they needed them. There would have been no problem. That's been now totally disproven. And it's also been disproven by Nancy Pelosi's daughter, who has her on tape saying it was her fault, that she has full responsibility.
Yes.
But
Well, why isn't Nancy Pelosi in prison? That's right, because she's a Democrat.
They have 2 years of nonsense. They come up with tremendous evidence, and they destroyed evidence. And Schiff knew about it. That's why he's on there. He knew all about the destruction of evidence. A lot of people said he's the one that got him to do it. And he's a crooked guy, a totally crooked politician. And so he's pardoned, and some other people are pardoned. And these are crooked politicians, every one of them. Benny Johnson, what he did is incredible. I mean, he was the leader of the committee, and he did it.
Don't you have to be
Kinzinger, all of them. They
This whole
destroyed evidence
preemptive
and
pardoning
deleted everything.
doesn't mean
There's
shit.
nothing. There's no evidence now.
Because
They're crooked politicians, and they should.
you got to be
punished.
found guilty of something
You know,
to be
that's even
pardoned.
in a civil trial, you go to jail for a thing like that. They destroyed every document, from what I understand, every document, because it proved that I was totally innocent.
Well,
Send up to 10,000 troops to the southern border, sir.
Yeah.
Yep, they're
Southern
already
border.
headed there.
When you say
border.
southern border, when I said 10,000 troops, I was referring to the capital.
Oh, I see. And
No, no,
when
you
does
gotta-
that, when
I
do you
was
plan,
referring to the
when do you
capital.
plan?
We've
to
already
do
got
that?
troops on the southern
10,000
border. I've
troops
seen the
to capital
videos.
Before January 6th.
And as for the 1,500 at the southern border, sir, to clarify, what exactly do you want them to be doing right now?
Making sure that the border is safe and secure and that criminals don't come into our country.
Mr. President, do you think that sanctions on Russia? would
I've seen them
avoid
putting
critical
razor wire up on
sanctions
top of the
I
wall.
don't know, but I think you should make a deal.
Mr.
Sir,
President, does it bother you that Elon Musk criticized a deal that you made publicly, that he said that he tweeted that?
No, it doesn't. He hates one of the people in the deal.
Have you spoken to him since then?
No, I've spoken to Elon, but I've
about
spoken to
that.
all of them, actually. No, the people in the deal are very, very smart people. But Elon, one of the people he happens to hate, but I have certain hatreds of people too. You
Sir,
know?
sir,
Mr.
on
President.
China, what do you think Xi Jinping can do on the Ukraine-Russia war?
Which one?
The Ukraine-Russia war, what can Xi Jinping do about that?
China?
Yeah,
They have a lot of power over Russia. They supply energy to Russia. And
Well, let's
Russia
see. If
supplies
we stop
energy to
sending
them,
billions of
supplies
dollars to
others.
Ukraine,
You know, it's really a very big trade. It's a very big trading partner.
the war's
Russia
going to
supplies
stop.
A lot of energy to China. That China pays them a lot of money for that, and I think they have a lot of power over Russia.
That's simple
I think
fact
Russia
of the
should
matter.
make a deal. Maybe they want to make a deal. I think, from what I hear, Putin would like to see me, and we'll.
And
meet as
if
soon as we can.
Ukraine
I'd meet
falls,
immediately. Every day we don't
so
meet,
be it.
soldiers are being killed in a battlefield, and that battlefield is like no battlefield since World War II.
You
That's
said
it.
that Ukraine wants
And
to.
I have pictures that you don't want to see. Soldiers are being killed on a daily basis at numbers that we haven't seen in decades. It'd be nice to end that.
And yes, everybody's going to be like, we need to send more
You said
money over
Ukraine's ready
there.
to make a deal. Did President Zelensky tell you that
Yeah,
personally?
sure. He's ready to negotiate a deal. He'd like to stop. He's somebody that lost a lot of soldiers, and so did Russia. Lost a lot. Russia lost more soldiers. They lost 800,000 soldiers. Would you say that's a lot? I'd say it's a lot.
So
Mr.
why would you-
President, you said that you wanted to make Dr. King's dream a reality. What's your response to his children and civil rights leaders who say that your DEI orders are a contradiction of his dream and could further drive racial
Well, I haven't
disparities?
heard that.
Mr. President, you put the Houthis back on the terror list. How do you see the war in Yemen in
Well,
now?
we'll see what happens, but they can't shoot down our ships, the Houthis.
Yes.
And that, you can't shoot down our ships or any ships, and that's what they've been doing. So they're on the terror list. That's not good for them.
So
Mr.
why did you
President.
revoke security protections for former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and Brian Hook?
Well, the same reason I do. When you have protection, you can't have it for the rest of your life. Do you want to have a large detail of people guarding people for the rest of their lives? I mean, there's risks to everything.
So would you support striking Iran's nuclear facilities?
Say it.
Would you support Israel, for example, striking Iran's nuclear facilities?
Well,
or
I'm
do
not
you
going to
believe
answer
in
that.
diplomacy?
Obviously, I'm not going to answer that question. We'll have to see. I'm going to be meeting with various people over the next couple of days, and we'll see. But hopefully that can be worked out without having to worry about it. It would be nice. It would really be nice if that could be worked out without having to go that further step.
And who are you gonna meet with?
Well, I'd rather not say that, but very high level people. But hopefully that can be worked out. Look, Iran hopefully will make a deal, and if they don't make a deal, I guess that's okay too.
See, all these
Mr.
people
President,
expect
just to
Trump
follow up, you
just
said
to
the Fed should
lay it all
raise-
out there.
Can you elaborate on why you think it should?
With regard to interest rates?
Correct, yes.
Because I think I know interest rates much better than they do. And I think I know it certainly much better than the one who's primarily in charge of making that decision. But no, I'm guided by them very much. But if I disagree, I will let it be known.
Sir, your tariffs plans for China and Mexico are much tougher. The ones for Canada and Mexico are much tougher than the one for China. Why is it softer for China?
Well, China's already paying a lot of tariffs because of me. And when you add them up, I would say, they're paying a lot. They paid hundreds of billions of dollars. They never paid 10 cents until I came along. When I came along, they've paid hundreds of billions of dollars. Never paid anything. And so they've already started at a higher base.
Is
Sir, on the
February
border-
1st the date for Chinese tariffs as well, sir? February 1, or was that just Mexico and Canada?
It's Mexico and Canada, but we're talking about China too. Look, China's sending us tremendous amounts of bad drugs, fentanyl, really bad stuff. Most of it comes through Mexico. And we're losing, I think 300,000 lives a year because of that. People say 150, 100, 120. I think 300,000 lives a year. Those are old numbers. The lower number is a low number. And we can't have that. They've got to stop sending it. I had a deal with President Xi, but it was a deal that wasn't followed up by Biden, of course, where they were going to issue the death penalty to people that make fentanyl, and that would have stopped it. But we'll have to stop it with tariffs.
Yep.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you very much.
Let's go.
Come on, get out. Get out.
All right, so a live feed there from inside the Oval Office. The press having that access to watch the executive order
With the ugly blue
real time.
carpet
Speaking of
gone.
real time, let's get Carla Sands' reaction here in just a minute. A number of executive orders signed right there. Not as many of the ones on Monday happened. So Carla, thanks so much for joining us here as it is just after 4 o'clock on the East Coast here on this Thursday, January 23rd. I'll let you have the floor. Which executive order would you like to pick?
Well, so I'm pretty excited about, well, all of them. First of all, God bless the Lumbee tribe. They want to be recognized. He's doing that because he promised them. Great. Promises made, promises kept. That's why we love President Trump. But he also said to RFK Jr. and to the American people that he was going to open the files on what happened, when they killed RFK Jr. and when they killed JFK. And so I'm very sorry, when they killed RFK, the father of RFK Jr. or Bobby Kennedy, our new incoming HHS secretary. So I'm pretty excited to see the truth. Was it an inside job, which is what we've been kind of hearing about the last year or two?
Of course it was
So
an inside
disturbing
job.
and disappointing. But President Trump, with his transparency, is going to let the American people really open the books and see what happened to two great American heroes. And I love that he's keeping his word. And then the last one, Matthew, talking about President Trump releasing these poor people, like he said, many elderly people, some of them were grandmas in their 70s, arrested and jailed for praying outside of abortion clinics. And it makes me think of what's happening in the UK when I hear what they're doing, we're doing under the Biden administration and his DOJ to pro-life, mostly Christians. And they don't, they have a right not to want babies to be killed. They have a right to peacefully protest, which is what prayer is, right? We're appealing to God, and it is a peaceful means of protest at the same time. And so all of these people, whether they were in the waiting room or they were outside the hall or outside the building, people have been arrested by Biden's DOJ. Biden and Kamala Harris, I think, were the two most anti-Christian president and vice president
I
that
fully
I've ever
agree.
seen in our country's history.
So to your point, RFK Jr. now being able to see this executive order. If you remember when President Trump signed the executive order in real time about declassifying the documents, the records about the assassinations of JFK, RFK, and MLK, he said, go give this to RFK Jr. to see. That was a very, very powerful moment in time.
And sorry I
that we
didn't
saw
live
live
stream
with,
that. I didn't realize this
and to
was
your
going
point, the
on
London
till
tribe, that is quite awesome in North
15 minutes
Carolina,
ago.
giving them, the ability to have federal benefits and the like. So a memorandum signed today by the president. And to your point again, 23 pro-life protesters that have dealt with the prosecution of the Biden administration are now free and free at last, right? So it's wonderful to see all of that happen there, Carla. Just a final question here for you. Do you think President Trump is done for the executive orders for this week? Do you think there's more tomorrow and over the weekend next week? I mean, there's still more to go.
Right. Well, first, I just wanted to mention MLK Jr., the great Dr. King. His niece, Dr. Alveda King, is an important leader at America First Policy Institute. She leads one of our centers, and she's a dear personal friend. I love Dr. King, and I'm sure she is heartened to be able to know the truth about what really happened to her great uncle. But I don't know if President Trump is done for the week. I know he's heading on those trips, like you said yesterday, tomorrow, I mean, he's heading tomorrow to North Carolina and then California. So he may be on the road a bit. Will he sign executive orders on the road? I don't know. He is certainly rolling them out and keeping us all like on the edge of our seats. What's next coming? Because it, like I said, is like Christmas every day right now. So I don't know if he'll continue over the weekend or if he's going to put them on hold until he's back in the White House next week. Your guess is as good as mine, Matthew.
Yeah, definitely. We'll keep an eye on it. Carla Sands, thank you so much again out of the America First Policy Institute. Your commentary, your analysis, and your friendship to us here at Right Side Broadcasting Network. Thank you again for making the time for us.
My pleasure.
All right, so there's Carla Sands with real-time reaction there as you take a live look at the White House. We'll go now to RSBN's Christina Loren to hear her reaction on all of these executive orders signed by President Trump there. We could possibly start on the 23 pro-life protesters, Christina, that are now set free, thanks be to God.
Thanks to the good Lord in heaven. And I think that those 23 pro-life protesters being pardoned, he mentioned it was a great honor to him. This is something that consistently came up when we were on the campaign trail talking to people in the crowds. They were so upset that these people who all they were doing
Hi, Michelle.
were arrested and then thrown into jail. When you saw what happened in Seattle, you saw what happened in Portland, rioters, none of which faced significant jail time. In fact, Kamala Harris was helping people raise funds to get out of jail. So this was a huge issue for people. And I know a lot of people have been waiting, even after the January 6th pardons came down, they were asking, I was reading a lot about it online, when is he going to pardon the pro-life protesters? And Matthew, for me and for you, I know as well, we are deeply involved in our faith. Our faith is everything to us. Being able to proclaim the love of Jesus and let people know about Jesus and just talk about him openly and freely, it's part of who we are. It's ingrained within us. And so many people have felt like they have to be quiet about it. They felt like they're pushed outside of the cool club if they talk about Jesus. But things have changed in this country, and it's a revival that we haven't seen since the time of Billy Graham. So what President Trump has done so far, and in his speech, acknowledging
That flag behind her is awesome.
At this time, in order for him to be able to make America great again, he is right on. There are no coincidences in this life. And so I think that everything is coming full circle. God always wins in the end. These people did not deserve jail time. They did not deserve to be locked up for praying publicly. And you know what's interesting about President Joe Biden? He's a man who allegedly would attend church services every Sunday. So the double standard, the message that he was sending was wrong, and we all knew it. And boy, Carla Sands, how fortunate are we to be able to tap into her wisdom on a regular basis here at RSBN? The renewal of Christianity in the United States under President Trump is remarkable. And I think it's only going to get stronger and stronger. I had a tear in my eye during the inaugural address afterward when we heard that song, Glory, Glory, Hallelujah. To be able to hear the battle hymn of the Republic played right there in the Capitol building with the beautiful acoustics. It's a moment that I'm not going to forget soon. I know a lot of people out there are right there with me. Also today, and you guys didn't really get a chance to talk about this. I know you've been on the air for so long, but the Senate voted to advance Pete Hegseth's nomination to be President Donald Trump's next Secretary of Defense. Now, this is huge because the vote came
That's
very close. It was
amazing.
51 to 49. And does look like Pete Hegseth will be confirmed, and that is huge news. This is a story that we've been watching very closely. I think the greatest gift that Pete Hegseth has to offer the American public is his gift of communication. Not only is he a decorated soldier who served in both Afghanistan and Iraq, he is an amazing communicator, and he knows how to take orders because he was able to climb the ranks of the military. That's the way it goes. But he also knows how to communicate what's happening effectively. And for so long, the Biden administration, it felt like the right hand didn't know what the left hand was doing, especially when it came to the military. So I think he's a game changer, and that is big news that happened today as well. So just to echo your point, it does kind of feel like every day is Christmas. and I do believe he'll be rolling out more executive orders tomorrow. I just hope the man's able to get some rest. President Trump, take good care of yourself. We need you on top of
Yeah,
everything
I
all
was
the
talking to
time.
that
So please get some
in-home
rest. And
nurse
we're
that came
so
by
grateful to be able
about
to cover these stories. And nobody
Trump
else, while I
might
was
be getting
checking
2 hours
everywhere,
of sleep a
nobody
night.
else was able to bring that live coverage. So good job on everything that you did today, Matthew.
Thank you, and to you too. Likewise, I mean, bringing you live here and Carla Sands commentary, and also being able to bring all the live feeds that we had today. And while you were talking about Carla, I was thinking about Robert McNeely, our RSBN host, how he had a in-person interview with Carla Sands, the former ambassador to Denmark under President Trump in Washington recently. That interview, so things are coming together. We get that, but Christina, at the end of the day, we're looking for that truth and that common sense, and just to report what we see here at the network. So RSBN's Christina Loren, look forward to seeing you again very soon for more commentary, analysis, and also thank you for bringing that report about Pete Hegseth, one step closer to being our DOD secretary. On top of that, looking forward to Pam Bondi being the U.S. Attorney General, Kash Patel, the FBI,
Yep.
on here. So RSBN's Christina Loren, thank you again. We'll see you here soon.
Thank you, Matthew.
Thank you. All right, so that's our live coverage for the day. Now, if there are any other news stories that break here on Right Side Broadcasting Network, you can follow us on Truth and X, but also if there's big enough breaking news in the sense of another announcement for more access to the White House, we can bring it live right here on the network as well. So 3 reports today. One about Brooke Rollins, her next step to being the Department of Agriculture secretary there. And then, of course, President Trump with the executive orders, and just a lot of news today throughout Washington, D.C. All right, let's thank some of our sponsors here, and I'll give you a program note here in just a sec.
All right, we're not going to go through all their sponsor stuff, but I had a in-home nurse stop by earlier. Took blood, and I had to pee in a freaking cup and everything. I also checked my blood sugar. My blood sugar was really good. Blood pressure was really high, which I don't understand. So I even grabbed my blood pressure monitor and checked it, and it was still high. Because yesterday at my doctor's appointment, it was real low. So what I'm going to do at my next doctor's appointment is I have one coming up next month on like the 3rd or 4th. I'm going to take my blood pressure monitor with me, and just to verify it to see if maybe the way they're doing it, because they're doing it the old school way, with not a machine to get the number. Maybe they're doing it wrong. I don't know, but I'm definitely gonna find out, because I've checked my blood pressure monitor thing with the ones at like Walgreens and Walmart, and it's right on with those. Now, I'm not saying that the blood pressure little stations that Walmart, Walgreens, and stuff are right on in your area. The two that I went to, they were right on with mine. Her blood pressure monitor, the nurse that came over, her blood pressure monitor was the same number as mine. So I don't know. But she wrote down all of my meds. Was shocked that I was on so many meds. And then we started going over my medical history, and she was like, "Oh my God, how are you still alive?" And I'm like, "Dear, if I'd have been given $1 every time somebody asked me that, I'd be a rich man." And she goes, "And you seem normal." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's what everybody says." Until they look at my medical history and they see all the shit that I've been through. And what I thought was cool is my wife was sleeping. So we came into my studio here, and I had just finished a live stream, so I still had everything going. And she was like, "Oh wow, this is awesome!" And she made a comment 2 or 3 times about my whole setup and the room and stuff. She was like, "And you don't make any money doing this?" And I'm like, "No, I don't, because I'm not yet monetized." And I don't, on a personal note, I don't know what I need to change on my channel to get more people to watch my videos. I saw some videos earlier, and of course, they were at the DC Gulag and all that stuff, but they had hundreds of views with like a third of the subscribers that I've got. So I don't know what I need to do to be able to get more people to watch my live streams, to watch my videos. So if anybody has any idea, other than me not being very blunt, I would love to know. So everybody, I don't think there's anything else going on for the day. Oh, I gotta go do laundry. So on that note, everybody, peace out. Have a great day. And I'll talk to you later. Peace.